So you want to make art that looks like this. Well, I'm here to help. And you're not going to be good. You're not going to be good immediately. I'm not saying you're not going to be good. Like, no one started out good. Like, I started out making pink bunnies for crying out loud. Like, I was as good as, a 5-year-old. But I've decided I'm going to kind of show you my journey. And I'm going to prove that you can improve. But you have to do, like, it has to take time. And here's how. This is a drawing from the 10th of February, which at the time of recording is 9 days ago. Now, this is very rare. This is what I like to call really quick evolution of art. And if this is happening and like it is very abnormal, I say stop with your art. Kind of take a break a little bit because you can get burned out super quick. If it's normal, it's usually normal for me because I'm still what I like to call the beginning stages of art. And in the beginning stages, it's kind of just like you're experimenting and all that. And so this is from the 10th of February. And the drawing I just showed you, this is from today, the 19th of February. There's a major improvement. You can see I'm drawing pictures bigger now than I was. I'm drawing with more confidence. And they're just overall, they're better. And this is evolution of art. Art is just like a species. It's going to evolve, but it takes time. You don't see a dog all of a sudden have 7 legs in one day. That's not how dogs work. It's not how any species works. Humans didn't just get smarter automatically. They gained knowledge. Like, the Renaissance is literally because humans gained enough knowledge to start questioning their knowledge. Like, that's literally how the Renaissance works. So, I'm going to show you how to kind of make your art better. And we're going to start with kind of just the drawing process. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to buy a sketchbook. I see people drawing notebooks and all that, and that's fine. If you like that, you can do that. But, like, if, like, you don't just want loose sketches, because you're going to lose them, and then you're going to be like, oh, I wonder what my first drawing was, and you won't have an accurate representation of what your first art kind of looked like. And if you were unlucky and your parents didn't save your first art, I am so sorry. Mine did. I still have my potato dad. He looks like a potato. He's really influenced my art. But we're gonna just start with a circle. Doesn't give me any size circle. It's never gonna be a perfect circle. If you spend too much time on your circle, it's not gonna look good. Obviously, you just kind of have to wing it. This doesn't look like a circle. It looks like a weird egg. And like, now people draw differently, but you need to start somewhere. I always say start with realism because that's going to give you an idea of what lighting is going to look like and how it's going to interact with the character, so on and so forth, or the object, or whatever you're drawing. And you're just going to kind of give that proportions. You're going to kind of be like, oh, if this is a head, figure out what way it's going to be facing it. I always say draw a slightly angled view because by drawing it as a slightly angled view, it's going to be better. And if it's better, then, well, you're good. Not like that, but like, because oftentimes, like, I went through a phase like this. I have a sketchbook that's literally full of it, just drawing straight on faces, like this, like just drawing straight on faces, and then doing a nose and eyes and ears and all that. But when it comes to drawing like 3/4 views, and I try to take that and put it in a 3/4 view, and it just doesn't look right. I mean, it does look right now because I've gotten used to it, but, like, it's not gonna look right if you just take what you've learned from the front facing and turn it into a 3/4 view. It's not gonna look right. That's just not how faces work. It's not how anything works. Like, the basics of drawing, I'm gonna state that most of the time, like, an object that's facing you is then turned, it's not gonna look the same unless it's perfect somehow. So, back to the circle. We have the circle, right? Now what we're gonna do is, you got the guideline for the circle, and I'm gonna do another guideline for kind of if it's looking up or down. So it's like the north, south, east, west. So, and now your style can completely vary from here. If you want to draw the face larger, if you want to draw maybe the chin's pointier or longer, I like to draw faces more round and just using the circle. Some people will extend the circle. Some people will just like shrink the circle, or squash the circle, like stretch. Circles depend. Circles can vary in multiple ways. Your circle doesn't have to look perfect. So, I like to start with basic anatomy. Like, I always usually start with the eyes and the nose. So, we have just the basic eye shape, not nothing too special, just kind of some circles. And then the little nose. I do little pointy noses because I'm too lazy to learn like actual nose anatomy. And then he's gonna just be looking off like this. And well, I feel like this is definitely a good starting point, like this. And I'm pretty sure you've all probably traced with that tracing paper your grandma gave you at some point or another. Believe me, I have. That's literally how I started drawing, was tracing Pokemon out of a Pokemon book got from the library, because, well, the dog is barking, woof woof. But that's gonna help you, like, don't trace like line for line. Like, don't, like, so you've got your object and don't trace like this. Don't trace like that, do this. So you've kind of traced like where the objects are gonna be, and that's gonna help you learn the proportions of it. So I think tracing is good when used in this circumstance. This circumstance, no. And don't use, you can use other artists as references. That's good, but don't base yourself off of solely one artist. I used to do that. I used to only use Lavender Town as a reference. I was like, I have to just like her, and that helped me get into drawing humans, because I used to draw furries and it was terrible, let me tell you. But just, if you focus on only one artist, your art just doesn't look like it's your own anymore. So I took what I learned from Lavender Town's humans and I put them into drawing with Waffle style, and I put them into Loish's style. I kind of created my own style that's now just Splatoon characters. Like, if we just don't look at the dog donkey thing, like, all of my drawings are now Splatoon characters, because I don't dog donkey like this. Like, I just love this so much. I'm sorry. Valentine's Day, after Valentine's Day, that's how drawings work. You always draw something after the matter. I feel like that's almost always true. But okay, back to the circle. So you've got your circle, right? Now I'm gonna draw ears on it. It can be any kind of ear. It can be a pointy ear. It can be a regular ear. For this, I'm gonna be doing a little bit of a round ear that kind of pokes out of the head a little bit. And I like to do it so both ears are visible, but oftentimes in a view like this, the ears are not going to be visible. This can be a completely stylistic choice as well. Everything can be stylistic, but you can't blame problems in your art on your style. Like, someone told me, let me see if I can kind of recreate it. Someone told me that, so we've got these big expressive eyes, and then this super realistic nose, and someone told me that the nose didn't look right, and I was like, that's just my style. That nose, no matter what, it's not gonna look right, because it's completely different from the rest of it. So, like, you can't just blame your style on your problems. Listen to advice, even if you think that it's completely useless advice. And so, back to the circle. I keep getting off track for anything about circles. They aren't actually circles. So, you can just kind of define the face a little bit. So, you can draw the chin now, whatever. This is the way I kind of draw faces on their own. And so, I've got this, and then we're just gonna draw the mouth. He's just gonna be a little smiley boy. And then you can do the hair, of course. What you thought I was gonna draw something different? No. Okay, and so we're gonna just take this time while I'm kind of finishing this, and while you guys are kind of doing what you're doing, to explain why I've been gone. I want to do traditional filming, because I've not been into digital art lately. I've got my whack, and I'll draw on it every once in a while. I'll often just do little sketches on it. And then I come to finish the piece, and I'm like, oh, what happened? Oh, it's terrible. But I always feel like my sketches in here look amazing, and when I kind of finish them, they look amazing. And for my finish, it's literally just a wash of color, and then you're done. I love this guy so much. But let's try drawing a figure. Now, please, if you're starting, reference from real life, or reference from someone else that is experienced, because they're going to be drawing stuff way more realistically than you're going to be drawing stuff. And if I referenced from real life in the beginning, not real life, I referenced from other people's art. I had this pocket coloring book that I carried around everywhere. And in my first ever sketchbook, which is right over here, off to the side actually, because my filming space is a complete mess. But, like, I referenced from this pocket comic book, but I put the spin on it, and I kind of made them more realistic. So they didn't look like they were straight from a coloring book, they looked like they were their own thing. But let's kind of start drawing the body. Again, it's completely stylistic. If you want the head bigger than the body, go for it. But this is the way I draw them. I draw head. I'm not gonna kind of finish this. I'm just gonna do a little quick doodly woolly. So we've got the head, and then we've got the little neck. And I always like to draw the neck, and then kind of do like what the chest is and what the body is. And then the legs. I'll do the arms last because I want it to look balanced, so I'd rather have the arms be balanced with the body than it be off. And I like to draw it with these hooves like this, like kind of just hooves, and then add the feet later. Because I feel like that's just going to give it more of a depth to it. Not depth, it's just kind of the way I like to do them. And then I'll go in and kind of add what I claim to be feet. Like, look at these things, they're monstrous, but I love them. And if you can't tell, this is heavily based off of Drawing with Waffles' super old style. I think it was like 5 or 6 years ago now that she drew in the style with big feet, and I loved them. Like, and I've made them my own. Like, they were super big. They're like that big, and I was like, it looks cool, but it's just weird. And now, staining their poses are good in a lot of cases, but you're gonna want to draw more actiony poses. So let's work on actiony poses. Now, you can start with the line of reference, line of action, and you can draw the head, and then go kind of just do the pose. I always like to make the character looking up whenever they're doing an action pose, or looking down in the case if they're inking turf. And just kind of flush them out like this, and do this, kind of do the body in the same style. And I'm going to continue this line down. The line can curve so it can go like this. That's going to still be the line of action. And the line of action is going to remain almost always consistent with your character. Now for this, the character is kind of balancing themselves out with their arms. And I would like to do arms like this. I don't really know why. I guess it's because, I just like it. I don't know. And that's kind of how I do actiony poses. This definitely doesn't look actiony at all, but you get the idea. And I say that's kind of just the basics you need to know. And rookie mistake. This is a mistake I've made. It's a mistake my friends that want to get into art and are trying to. Like, I've got 2, 3, 4 friends right now that are like, oh my gosh, you draw so good. Your friend draws so good. I want to be like you. And I'm like, well, my art's good. I've never thought of it as good. Like, you're going to be your harshest critic almost always. Like, I think my art looks good, but, I don't think it looks great. Like, I think I can improve. And there's gonna be that time in your art where you're like, I can't improve, I'm the best! Sometimes that doesn't end, sadly, and then you get really popular, and then everyone criticizes you about it, Yeah. And always improve. Always try to improve with your art. Even if you think you can't, you can. Your art's never gonna be perfect. You'll be 90 years old and still say your art's terrible. That's what Georgia O'Keeffe did. Literally just did a paper on her. Which I need to finish, actually. Yeah. And that's kind of just like what I've learned, and this Drawing with Waffles just made an amazing video about how to find your style. Not find, but kind of more, make your style your own, or what you want it to be. You have a style right now. You do. Whether you like it or not, it's your style. You're gonna draw humans the same way almost every time. Almost. Not the same, but almost the same. And the reason is because, you just, that's what it's muscle memory, and you have to change that, or it's gonna slowly evolve and all of that. It's evolution. Your art is literally evolution. Like, again, if we look back at the comic I made and all this, like, this right here looks worse than the masterpiece I made that I'm gonna keep going back to because I love it too much. And I completely lost it again. Oh my god. Is it sticking? No, but it's right here. Yeah, but this. And you're gonna go through ups and downs in your art, and if you are having a bad art day, just push through it. Keep drawing, even though it's gonna look terrible. You can rip that page out of your sketchbook if you want, but I like to keep them in there because there's gonna be bad days. There's gonna be great days. I drew almost like 7 pages in my sketchbook today. And that's because I was having a good art day. And there's some days I won't draw any because I'm like, I just want to watch YouTube. Stop making me draw. But yeah, I hope you guys had a great time, and be sure to subscribe if you liked the video, and like it. Goodbye!